Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. In the bloom of it all.
It's hot, y'all. It's hot. But we're here and we are excited for this episode, as we are with all episodes. But today we are going to chat about when God works all things together for the good. So we're happy to dive into this topic with you all. So if you're new here, I am Tyree Montgomery.
And I am Shyann Montgomery.
And this is our exciting, cozy conversation podcast in the bloom of it all.
In the bloom of it all. Yes. So let's get started. All right, well, first and foremost, it's hot in Portland. So for those of you who are on the Pacific Northwest area, perimeter, metropolitan space, it's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot. It's 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all taking care of yourselves in this hot heat and weather as we will ourselves.
I think it's supposed to be 102 today.
I didn't want to hear that.
It just suddenly made things hotter.
I
just
felt it,
thought.
but I just thought maybe it's a cool 90. You know, like in my
102.
mind, help me feel better.
And that's not counting the humidity that just makes it.
No. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little much. A little much. Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's hot.
But
We're making it through though.
we are.
We can't complain because most of the time it's cold.
Oh yeah, it rains, cold, the dreariness of the winter, fall, the gray skies. So gonna accept what God can give us for right now. But if He could just turn the thermostat just a little bit down, that would be just great too.
We are equator right now. It's at the temperature
This
of
is
equator.
not normal for Portland. Okay, Arizona, the other areas where they welcome the 115,
Hats off to y'all.
keep it.
That's heavy.
Keep it.
Yeah.
But back to today's topic.
Yeah.
Yes. So I have some news.
As y'all know, she's shared some of her journey already. But
Yes. And I can pretty much go back into that too. But the past few months, I have been without work. I've been looking for my next step in my career. I'm still very early on in my career, but I definitely know that I want to stay in a certain industry. And with that has come a long time coming. Lots of interviews. When I mean lots,
man,
she knows. Lots of interviews, lots of no's, but I've always thought that it was just one no closer to my yes. And I officially have that yes. So
Yay.
I will be starting very soon. I'm excited to get back to working and to be able to go on that journey. It's a similar field of what I'm doing, but just a slightly different industry. So I'm excited for this next chapter. I'm very blessed and very thankful for this next chapter and everything that I went through to get here, because
let's dig into that.
quite a lot.
Because we know that
Quite a lot.
the journey looks different.
Yes.
And it was a little trying. It was testing anyways. And including some non-traditional ways for jobs to eliminate or make a decision.
Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
perspective, I think her perspective is pretty awesome. I feel proud.
For those who may not know, just a little bit of just like details and like, I guess you can say like data or statistics. At the beginning of 2025, about 350,000 Black women were let go, unemployed, or etc. from their jobs at the top of this year. And for many of those who do not know, Black women are some of the most educated in their fields and just in total in this country, Southern America. So it's a really big deal when that many women, myself included, were, kind of looking for their next thing. And so when there's that many people on top of all the other people from different other demographics who are also looking for jobs, that pool is pretty big right now. And, and it's really tough to feel like you're trying to get your paper, get your resume, get your face at the top of the line when there's so many other people who are just as deserving, just as, skilled as you are and educated as you are, who are still trying to get there to that line. So I am very thankful, and I also want to say just stay encouraged during this time. There's many more women and men, and who are in this field that are still trying to find their jobs, still trying to find their yes. So I hope that my journey and my experience can also help to that too. But that's just the little top part. So it was a struggle. I've been struggling. That's really what it was. And it's just like these last few months, not only was I struggling mentally and just like emotionally through this time period of just looking for a job, and I've also been struggling spiritually too, because I've been having to depend so much more on God and in the process, and just in this waiting. And it felt like just one thing after another of just things just kept falling through the cracks. And it's just like at the beginning, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna find a job in the next couple months. I never stay out of work long. Like I'm good. I'm just trying to be hopeful and just trying to leaning more on the side of being positive and really trusting that. And then you get your first couple of no's and first couple of rejections of things where you've like, nope, I knew someone who worked there. Like I spoke with them directly. I got coffee with so-and-so. Like I've done the things that I've been encouraged to do and networking, and still it's a no. So I'm just like, that's supposed to work.
Right. I did all the things.
Those things are supposed to, that's what you get told. That's what people say. And that's what they, share to kind of help you find your next thing is, talk to the people that you know. What are the circles? Are there other industries with very similar job descriptions that you can also do? Try that too. And those things just wasn't going through as well. I tried to upskill and learn new skills to just advance myself in the industry that I was in. And it was just like, those things just kind of seemed like, okay, well, I'm putting all this work in this new skill just to keep myself in that rhythm. And it can be a bit discouraging. I think with this season, it was so much where it's just like, I have no control over anything. And that reality was just really hard to really settle in. Like, the most control I have over is what show I'm gonna watch. Can I get gas? And then even then that stuff will be like, can I get gas? Like trying to really budget so strictly to where I can still enjoy myself. I can still hang out with my friends. But even then that was in more and more moderation.
Because you did save a lot while you were working before you got the layoff. And I'm so proud of you for doing that, because what you did ahead of time to prepare you for a moment that you weren't expecting, it didn't get necessarily taught to you to do that. So for you doing your own due diligence, learning from what you've seen through your parents or learning through school and going through the, what was the program that you went through that we went through also at church, the financial... Dave Ramsey Financial Freedom course. So using those tools and putting those into place set you up for a time such as this, so that you will be prepared in that waiting period. So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Learning early on that like I needed to make sure I had some kind of emergency fund. Like in high school, obviously I wasn't, having big expenses.
Like I don't know when I'm gonna need this.
Like I don't know when I'm gonna need this, but I knew I was like, if I could save at least $100, that's a good spot to be in. I can still give myself an allowance with every paycheck. And that was something I learned early on too, is like, all right, that full paycheck of $100 is not going to me. I pay myself first, which would be like $40. The rest of it goes into savings and then go from there. And if I didn't use all the $40, then I would just replenish it up back to 40 and then put the rest in savings. So I was saving pretty aggressively very early on. But then that allowed me to treat myself. I ended up getting my laptop for college, like getting things that I may have needed or just things that I wanted. Like I wanted a certain pair of shoes and didn't want to have to ask mom and dad for those pair of shoes. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna go get them myself.
I got mine.
I'm going to the mall and I have my own mall money. I can go get me a Jamba Juice and a pretzel and I can be just fine. I can do those things. And so I learned that very young. And then it also translated over when I got to college. Because when I got to college, I was on a scholarship. And at the same time, books are expensive. I had a Spanish class where my book was $300. And I was just like, so y'all don't have nothing to cover this? Can we use some of the tuition? No. Okay. Well, Spanish it is.
I'm going to learn this Spanish.
I'm going to learn it. I'm going to learn it. Yes, I am. I'm taking it very seriously.
Right.
But I had a job as well, and I looked for work study jobs and things on campus to be able to, be able to pay for those books, to be able to use it towards other things, and to just feel like I have a better grounding of like, okay, this is going to be real life at some point. You know, college is very real, but once I get out there into the real world, there's no books, there's no teachers and things like that in that way, in that traditional sense. Now I'm going to have to figure out those resources on my own. But having some kind of emergency fund became a lot differently when I ended up getting my first corporate job. And that was where I was like, okay, I can save a lot more. And I can save a lot more quickly. But now I need to think about expenses. I need at least 3 months of expenses. And that's just everything that I can think of. If I want to factor in, and I even factored in like, oh, I'm going to make sure I have at least $100 to go towards entertainment. And that could be movies, drinks with friends, dinner, you know, a concert or something. Like, that is also factored into that emergency fund. So 3 months of my rent, 3 months of utilities, 3 months of Wi-Fi. Like, I thought of every little thing that I'm paying for throughout the month, and what was that total number that I would need for about 3 months.
That's so good.
And that is what I like really focused on to save. And then from there, I was just like, okay, well, while that's working, maybe I can also put like $50 away for a trip fund, because I still want to do trips, but I don't want that to come out of my emergency fund.
Right.
And being very disciplined too, of like, I can't touch this. It's an emergency fund.
It don't even exist.
It's there, and there's been so many times where I was just like, ooh, but I could just dabble just a little bit, and then I can get this one thing or go to this one place. And I was just like, no, I can't do that. And when things got a little bit more tough and more penny pinching, especially with being unemployed for a while, it was very tempting for me to do that, and I am so thankful and blessed that I didn't even have to.
Praise God.
During this whole time, I had not even got a chance to even touch it. I've added to it this entire time because I wanted to make sure I budgeted so well that that was something that continued to do. It may have been a smaller amount, but I still tried to put a little bit of something in it every single month just to make sure that that was a habitual thing that I continue to do. So yes, that is something that where I'm like, I'm at that point to where I do have exactly that amount saved, and I feel so much better. And that's a relief to know that I didn't have to touch it.
So I remember when we were talking about this at one point, you were just like, Mom, you know, I'm just concerned because I know that, you know, the resources that I have right now are going to start running out.
Yep.
And I need to get something by a certain amount of months. I think the first time we talked was like a month or so. And we were praying about it. And matter of fact, one of the episodes we did was talking about praying in numbers.
Yep.
That was inspiration about that, because we did pray. We had been praying, and I've been praying consistently. But this particular time, we came together and really prayed, and was in specifics and speaking in some things into her, because I felt like she was getting to that point where you were a little weary, like what is going on. And so that was an inspiration to that, what we learned, because shortly after that, you end up getting interviews.
Yeah.
Then the interviews kept coming, but then there was...
Because I was like, I feel like I'm against the clock at the same time. I'm just like, obviously, God has his own timeline for me, and I'm never going to understand that timeline, and you want things to happen when you want them to, but he's like, all right, well, it's going to happen when I want them to, and you just have to be okay with that.
Come on.
But I'm like, but there is a looming timeline, though, still, that I do have to worry about, though. Like, that thing is also just as
by
real.
By nature, you just like...
It's just as real. Time is ticking on that support system, and need something.
Yeah.
It would be nice for, you know, a role to show up and do the interviews and things, and it's just like, especially at that time, I didn't have any interviews. I was like, I've submitted 50, 60 resumes and applied to so many, you know, positions, and I'm getting nothing.
Yeah.
Every morning I'm waking up with, sorry, we chose a different candidate. First thing,
right,
I wake up and that's the email I'm seeing. Like, that doesn't set your day up for success. But then in some ways I was just like, you know what, now I'm motivated today. And other days it's like, I'm not motivated at all. Like, it was kind of that tug and pull of just like, well, I need to get motivated. I have to keep applying. I have to keep doing this. I have to keep going, because if I stop,
what am I getting?
What am I getting? Yeah, and it's just like, faith without works is dead. And if I don't try, if I don't at least give something of what I can give, then he's like, well, I got scraps. I'm gonna make it work, but you gotta help me too. Help you, help me, help you at the same time, you know? And so it's just like, all right, I'm getting closer. I can feel it in my intuition, in my gut, that I'm getting closer. But at the same time, there's this annoying deadline that is literally so loud where I'm just like, do I fall into the deadline of it all, or do I fall into this intuition that I'm feeling? And it was that kind of tug where, I mean, like spiritually, it's just like, but this deadline, and then so I gotta make some things happen. You know, I gotta do something, and it's just like, what can I do that's quick, that's gonna be able to help me to do this and that? And it's just like, no.
God keeps saying surrender.
Let it go. Let it go. He knows that I struggle with, you know, the sequence of things and planning and control and having to do that. And that's got me this far. It has done something that is a gift that he's put into me that has allowed me to get to where I am. But how much of that is me depending solely on what I'm able to do? How much of that is me kind of like, no, I can actually do better than you? And that's something that where I'm just like, I need to nip this in the bud. I need to focus on, if this is something that keeps happening, I need to keep going to him about it. The more you think about it, the more you pray about it. And the more my mind just starts to feel like, oh, all these things are added. It's anxiousness, and it's making sense to me. It's making sense to me. It's not a lie. These are not like, it's facts.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing. These are facts. This deadline is coming up. I do not have this job. I do not, like, there was just like, these are all very factual things, but the truth is that it's not for me to figure out.
Right.
And that was where I was just like, okay. We're
here.
We're here.
We're dealing with this thing that I know I need to deal with, but it's uncomfortable.
You know, and it's like the way I start to really think about it too. And, you know, this is not entirely my perception of things in the middle of this. I promise you, in the middle of this storm and everything that I was going through, it was not like that. And I was trying to see that side of it, and it was hard. It was so hard. So hard, because in some ways I felt like I failed. In some ways I felt like, well, you know, I'm first generation to go to college. There's so much, it feels like, of riding on me and like wanting to do that. I'm the oldest sister. Like,
I need to show them an example.
I need to, like, I had this big thing, and it felt like I lost it. Like, I made it to this really corporate thing and sell all these, and then it was gone. So it was just like, it felt like it was a me thing, and not that, like, you got some other stuff going on, and you're thinking that you're doing it all by yourself, when really somebody else is doing it on your behalf. And so we're going to take this away right now. And that's where I feel like now I can see that. But then it was just like, I did this.
I did a great job for myself.
I did this.
Pat on my back.
I got it all the way here. I made it. I. And he's just like, who? Who told you that?
Where are you getting this from?
Where are you getting that from? And I'm like, did you not see the fruits of my labor? Was I not the one studying? Was I not the one going to these things? Was I not the one doing all these? I feel like I did it. So everything is showing. I did
And
that.
the reality is, we be thinking that we're giving God the honor, the glory, and praise where it's due.
Exactly.
And you were like, I thank God.
Like, thank
I
God for
be like,
bringing me
thank
through
you,
this. That was a
Lord.
really
Yes.
hard task.
Oh,
It was
God
really
is good.
Ooh, these
All the
emails.
time.
Oh my goodness.
All the time, God is good.
I'm getting it. Thank you. But I'm like, I'm thanking him for the surface level of things, but still taking most of the credit for the hard work that I put in. And it's just like, I'm getting a little confused. Getting a little confused.
Yeah.
And I feel like now on the outside of it, looking like, now that I feel like I'm through it and I'm looking at it in a different way, it's just like, you had all the tools. You were doing okay, but you also could have seen that you could have given a lot more. There's a lot more you could have gave to him.
So it's like he had you go through this so you could see that you need him. You still need me.
I still need him. The things I thought that I was really, really good at are the gifts that he gave me. That's not something that I've just learned over time and mastered and spent all these hours doing. Yeah, but he gave me that.
His wisdom, his
It was
grace.
him. So it's just like, those are the things where I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it now. I get it now. every time you put something up there to God and you're praying for it, and then, you know, you see, like, say, like a flyer, like, oh, I'm really, you know, struggling. I don't have these shoes, and I need the shoes for my job and this, that, and the other, or whatever tech and things that you may need to be set up for successful work. And then use like, y'all to really help me out with this. And then you see this flyer, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna just do that instead. It's like you give it, but then you take it away because you found a solution on your own. And it's just like, in some ways, yes, it could be God helping you and telling you, like, oh, you know, here's your option. Like, I'm showing you, you know, these are the things. But it's just like, you claim it as like, oh, I did that. I found that on my own. Like, but then 2 weeks later, it breaks down. And so you're like, okay, well, I need this. Like, I've been asking for this. And then you go do it on your own. It's like, well, putting it up there is kind of like, psych, actually, I believe I can do it better than you can. You're taking too long, so I'll take that blessing and create it on my own. When really, in reality, it's like, leave it. The point is leaving it and being able to be like, no. Because what he was going to make sure it wasn't going to break down again. What he was going to do was going to make sure that it's going to last longer. What he was going to do was going to open up connections so then you have plenty to choose from. But instead, you did it too early or went your own way, and now it's temporary, and now it won't last. So it's just like,
okay, you cooking right now.
I'm listening. So it's just like, I don't want it to be temporary. I don't want it to be short term. I don't want it to break down in 30 days and now I'm back here spending more money doing this all over again. I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm listening. I'm letting it go. If I'm putting it on the altar, you leave it there. You don't take it back. Leave it there. Because it's something that he's going to do is going to make it so much better and more greater than what you thought it was going to be in the first place.
He can do it so much better than
my imagination does not match his. What I can believe is way better. It's going to be way better if it comes from him. And I remember just crying so many times, especially when it came down to this last one that took a very long time to be able to go through the process.
How many interviews?
7 in an assignment.
I've never heard of that. And I would love for y'all to drop in the comments if y'all ever had a job that required you to go through 7 interviews for them to know if you qualified or you're the one for the job.
And I asked for feedback, and they said that you were just great.
So confusing.
But that was it.
And you had to do a presentation.
Yeah, and I did a presentation, which they thought was phenomenal and was above and beyond.
So share what you shared with me about how you see it now, that process.
Doing that, I realized that, like, yes, God was giving me interviews, and I was submitting my resume. My resume was good, and I had these interviews, but I don't think I believed in the pitch I was selling for those interviews for myself. There was so much of those interviews where afterwards I was like, yeah, no, that wasn't good. My responses could have been better. I need better examples. Find myself pausing a lot. Like, doing that process, it required me to do some research. Like, I was researching what are the most top questions, what would they be asking in regards to my field, and really doing the research of, like, what are they going to be asking me? To really prepare myself, thinking of actual examples that I've done, multiple examples that I've done that apply to those same questions. Like, I felt like I had to really study in order to get to each round. And after each round, it was even more study. Like, I didn't let up in that way. So by the time each interview came along, I was able to sit up straight and feel confident and look at, in these virtual interviews and be like, I can answer that question. I can answer that question confidently and know exactly what my answer is and talk clearly. Because there's times where I'll be talking and I stumble over my words and my mouth gets dry and I'm like, well, let me think about that. How do I answer this? But I didn't feel like that through the process. And so it was, for me, I was like, there was nothing I could have done more. Is when I finished that, it was just like, there's nothing I could have done more because I was proud of myself from the beginning all the way to the end. I gave it my all. I did the research. I did what I was supposed to do. And I felt good about that. There's nothing about that no from that position to where I feel like, oh, I didn't do enough.
And they said you were great.
And they
just
said
had
I
to
was
make
great.
a decision.
And they just had to make a decision. It was by literally tooth and nail of things where they were just like, they went with the other person.
And there were specific things that you said you wanted. And I think this was so big to me because you were very clear on what you wanted in the opportunity. You wanted to be able to travel. You wanted to be able to have the lifestyle you always wanted. You wanted the job security that you find in the corporate job, applying the skills that you have. But there was those specific things that you wanted. And I think a lot of times when we get to a place like desperation kicks in, when we feel like our time clock is running out, and we'll just take anything that our skills would apply. And sometimes we are moving in a space of anxiousness, and God said we're to be anxious for nothing. And when we're praying about it, we should be praying and believing Him to do the thing that we feel that we're called to do. And on top of that, it's like there is no such thing as too much time for God. His ways are not our ways. His timing is perfect. So what I was like, when you were explaining this to me, I was just like, it's very clear to me that we know God is going to give us what is for us.
Yeah.
And nobody can take that away. And He reserves the space for us as long as we keep showing up.
Yeah.
And I just saw through this process as you were explaining how you were being prepared for the opportunity that you didn't even know was out there. But it was also building up your confidence and understanding what you were bringing, but leaving it room for God to make the decision. The longer you had to wait, the more you was like, okay, Lord.
And
the
like I remember, like
happening.
I cried. Like after doing this interview process, I was like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Because it was about almost a month long. And it was just like, okay, well, I'm further into this. Like every next round didn't feel like, you know, I'm hearing from everybody else, oh, you made it to the next round. Congratulations. Good job. Good job. And I'm like, what more do they want?
Yeah.
I'm like, what more do they need?
You was like, Lord, what is happening here?
I'm like, oh my goodness. But, you know, at the end of it, I did cry. And I was definitely crying because it was just like, dang. In that moment, it was like kind of me retreating back to my before where I was just like, but I did everything right. Why don't I get rewarded if I did everything right? And it's just like, okay, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
That, you know, like you're not going to always get that star or the cookie or whatever for doing the right thing. You know, like for the most part, yes. But and not every single time.
Yeah.
Like that's not what that is. You still have to put faith and believe that, you know, someone else is helping you get to the finish line as well. You know, and at the same time, I was just like asking God, I was just like, there's got to be something better. Because I'm just like, listen, if it's a no to this, okay, if it was 7, if it's a no to this,
just like
there's gotta be something better.
There has to.
There has to be. And that was my thought after that, was just like, I'm crying, but I'm like, Lord, I know now. There is something better. I get it.
Because this just didn't make sense.
Because
this is wild.
Wild. Unbelievable. So there's gotta be something better. There has to be. But I felt better when I got that next interview. A couple days later, I got another interview, and then it's just more interviews. And next, you know, I was over here balancing interviews between a 5-minute span. I had to drive and park cars and because there was just so many interviews that were coming up, and I was just like, all right, it's here. And I felt good because I was just like, it didn't matter if I got on the call 5 minutes or prepared yesterday. You
were doing what you know you needed to do. You were committed to the process, but you were walking by faith.
Yeah.
At this point, you were just like, Lord, I'm just going to keep showing up.
Just going to keep showing up.
Because I know God got something better. You did already made your mind. And you was like, I'm just getting to the better.
Something better. Clearly, there's a reason this door shut. For a reason.
Yeah.
That was meant for me to be prepared. And he's like, you need 7 interviews.
For what I got for you,
I'm
gonna need you to 7 interview this one up so that we can get you prepared. Yeah.
But what he told me was that I was gonna be able to get this one in 3. 7 it took to prepare. Probably 20 it took in the whole process of just this entire couple months span. But 3.
Whew, the equipping process, people.
3.
That's amazing.
3. And every interview, I was just like, yep. It literally felt like a mic drop. I was like, I did what I had to do. And I felt good because the people I were talking to, it was a difference in those interviews as well. They were actually intrigued about getting to know me and being able to be like, oh, I like this part of what you said. It really highlights this part of who you are. Oh, I like this part of what you said. That's definitely what we're looking for in this. Whereas other interviews, it's like, okay, next question. And it's just like, did you even, all that prep? You didn't care about my answers? That's how it felt. And it's just like, oh. You didn't even like my response.
Yeah.
I really, really tried to dazzle on that one. All right, next question then. Cool.
Moving on.
Okay. Cool.
So when did you have this? Because I know going through it when you're in the thick of it, it's hard to like, okay, this is the way it's got to be. I know God's working it out, and I know that He's got something better for me. And yeah, this was hard, and I'm going through this preparation process. It's like blind faith. I don't know what God is doing, but I know He got me. He said He'll always provide for my needs. He'll see me through. Like, I know these things.
Yeah.
But when did it come to the time where you just was like, okay, I'm just fully like, whatever?
I think it was honestly right before the 7 interview one.
Oh, really?
It was nothing. I got nothing again. And I was just like, okay. And it's just like, I felt very defeated. And I was just honest. I was just like, Lord, I'm upset. I'm mad. Like, I'm not understanding. Like, I'm upset. And I'm upset because I don't know.
Yeah.
And I know that this is something that you've been trying to teach me and I've been struggling with, but I'm just being honest and I'm being vulnerable and I'm bringing all the stuff to you, the good, the bad, the where I'm feeling, and I'm talking it out with you. Like, that's what you want, so I'm doing that. Like, I'm not just going to come to you when things are good. I'm not just going to come to you when things are really, really bad. I'm going to come to you when things are in the in-between as well and all of the above. So, you told me to do that.
Here I am.
Here I am. Letting you know I'm upset. Okay? I am frustrated. I don't like being in the dark. It doesn't make me feel good. I don't know what you got cooking up there. Okay? I just want you to know that I know what you're doing, but come on. Something. Please. Like, I don't want to be so sad. I don't want to be so defeated. Like, this is not a feeling that feels natural for me. Like, why? And just being like, why? And, you know, there was some time where I was just like, I felt very guilty for even being upset or being mad and just like this process that He's putting me through. And I'm like, is that what Christians are supposed to do? Am I able to get mad? Like, am I able to doubt that anything's gonna turn around? Because there's so much things in my face of like rejection and no's and this is falling through and canceled. And it's just like, that's my reality. So it makes me feel so defeated, but that doesn't change my faith. It doesn't mean that I'm like, you know what, forget you, I'm done, I'm tired of this. It's just like, sir, pick up the phone. I've sent you so many voicemails and you're not returning my call. Okay. Just letting you know, it's getting really frustrating.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm just frustrated, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I know He's also been frustrated with me. So I'm like, I understand. I am your child. You are my father. But I'm also frustrated with you too. You said you was going to be here. You said you was going to show up. So I'm just waiting. And the waiting sucks. I'm not very patient.
Right. Ooh.
I'm not very patient. But in that learning to be patient, I'm learning to stand differently when things are not going my way, when things do change, when things are just different than what I pictured.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with picturing a certain life and thoughts and imaginations of what I would want for myself. Those desires come from Him. He wants me to have those things. May not just be in the timeline I want them to happen, but that doesn't mean I can't ever have them. And there may be some things where I'm like, you know what, I actually don't want this thing anymore. And He's like, I knew that. But I was going to let you think that for as long as you wanted to. Eventually, it was going to let you know you didn't actually need that. I'm like, you're right. I don't want this dream anymore. I don't want these things anymore.
Yeah.
I have a different way. They've changed. They've altered. But they're still the same passion and drive and things that bring me to where I am today. But I still will never know. And to think that I do shows that there's a lot for me to still learn. In those moments where it's just like, ooh, you think you know better than God? That's a problem. You might want to check on that. You might want to check on that. Oop, your patience is getting really thin. You might want to check on that.
Right.
Like, those are the things where I'm like, I'm more aware of now and wanting to actively work on and knowing that the only way to work on that is with Him. I can't do that
So
by
the
myself.
storm is the teaching process to lead you to being grateful that He loves you so much that I got you even in the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing you what you need to so you can be better and
Yep.
you can be positioned for greater.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Yeah.
really what it is that waiting is building that position, it's building that posture, it's building that stance to where I'm like, all right, here comes the punch. I can hold it now. I can handle it a little bit differently. I can say thank you when doors get closed. I can say thank you when things don't go my way, because there's a reason for that. There's a reason that this no happened that I cannot see. So I have to believe that he's working on my behalf and is shutting things before I can even see that. And like, ooh, that's actually not going to work because it's possibly that there's an issue going on at that workplace. Ooh, this is not going to work because you would probably have to spend more money on parking. Ooh, this is not going to work. And so there's things that I'm not seeing and I'm not supposed to. And really accepting that I'm not supposed to know. And as someone who is a bit of a control freak, I'm not supposed to know.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
And
it's
that's
not
the trusting
and
process.
that's the trusting part. And that's where it's just like, this is an area where I know I really need to surrender and lean it on him because I'm not supposed to know.
Yeah.
And so you kind of let things go a bit easier. You kind of be like, all right, he said no. He said no. It is a little disappointing still. I'm not saying that just goes away, but it's just like I have a different perspective. I see it differently now. So with that, I do thank God for that season. It hurt. I went kicking and screaming, and I was frustrated, and I was mad, and I just didn't understand, and I threw tantrums, but I still believed. I still trusted. I still was like, ooh, I'm feeling this feeling. Oop. All right, hands on my knees. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's do this. We're going to do this again. We're going to try again. I didn't stop. It just, my posture changed. My way of thinking changed. And I just started to just thank him even when things didn't go my way.
And he exceeded your expectations.
He exceeded my expectations.
It came out better than you imagined. So what would you tell someone that is going through what you just came out of? That is waiting and applying and not hearing back and in that space right now. And just trying to learn what look like to trust God.
I say in this waiting season, it sounds crazy, but be thankful that God is even putting you through this. The fact that he is choosing to refine you and change and have you learn new things in that time. Like, I did this podcast in that time period. Like, there's things that I've been able to do and, learn more about myself. And he's just choosing me to go through this refining process to be better for what is to come. If he's not refining you, I'm like, I told you, I was like, I'm a little worried. Why? Now I'm just like, ooh, if this is what I got out of that season and out of that storm, in some ways, I want to keep being refined. I want to keep being stretched. I want to keep being challenged. I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to get comfortable in a space where he's just like, I have so much better for you up here. If you just would want it, if you would just trust in me, you could be way, way up here. But you just so comfy with here because it's in your grasp. It's in your control. But I'm going to take you out of that, and it's scary. It's confusing. You don't know what's going on. And it's like, that's okay. A storm is meant to stretch your faith. It's meant to show you the things, the lights, the red flags, the things that are around you. So then you're able to notice it, because it's possible things have been there and those could just distance you away further from God. But the storm is to bring everything out. It's supposed to wash things away. It's supposed to flood the areas where you're just like uncertainty, and it's supposed to bring you closer. It's okay to go kicking and screaming. It is okay to go kicking and screaming. Again, it is okay to go kicking and screaming. It's part of the process.
It is.
And if you're anything like I was and to think that that's not part of the process, it is. That it's okay.
And he knows.
And he knows. Like, he understands that this is not going to be easy. But he also knows that if you trust in him and you surrender to him, that he's going to be so much more greater on the other side. You will be rewarded. You will be okay.
Yeah.
And I think also for this season is that I'm glad that he even thought I was strong enough to go through it. I didn't think I was at times, but he did. He thought I was strong enough. And I think that is more than I could have asked for is that he thought I was strong enough. He chose me.
He knows you better than you know yourself. And this is no surprise. This moment in time is no surprise to him. He knew you were going to need to go through this at this particular time.
Yep.
And that's why I often am reminding myself is that God is greater than all of my concerns. There is nothing that he is not in tune with, that he doesn't care about, that he's not aware of. He is a good, good father. And I just feel so proud to see you go through this and come out so strong, so aware, so wise. Keep praying for your kids. Keep praying for you. I can't even stress that enough. Keep praying for your kids because they are going to go through things that you cannot touch. It's their journey, it's their experience, it's their relationship with God. You want your kids to rely on God more than they rely on you. You want your kids to be able to speak to the mountain and it move because their faith is so strong. And in order for our faith to grow and get to that place, we got to go through some hard stuff. You know, it's just like she said, if I'm not being refined and I'm not going through some stuff, I'm concerned. When you on a plane, like for me as an example, when I'm on a plane and I don't feel some turbulence, I be like, are we free falling? This ride is way too smooth.
Drop it.
It's a little too smooth. I don't know. I need to know that we're going according to the way that this plane is meant to go. Things are supposed to happen. You're supposed to have some turbulence. The plane was equipped for that. So yeah, you're going to go through some hard things, but the fact that you're embracing that God has not left you, he is with you, and he's doing this for you, not to tear you down, for you not to recover strong, but for you to be aware. And then you'll be able to pass that down to your own children someday. Like, these are the moments that we have to embrace. But you could have been angry at the end and be like, man, I'm out. This is no, like your sisters say, adulting is ghetto.
It is. It is. Adulting is ghetto. Being broke is expensive. Like all these things. If you really think about it, if you really, really, really think about it, being broke is expensive.
It is.
Okay? Okay? Because when you go into Dollar Tree and nothing's $1, then that's a problem. $1.25, say what?
Right.
I have a budget. It's expensive.
Camry said that one day. She said, you know, adulting is just ghetto. Girl, I laughed so hard.
It is rough.
I laughed
around
so
every
hard.
corner.
Shout out to Camry. It's so funny. I can't stop saying it because
it is.
When you're watching your adult kids go through life and how they all have their own take on it.
Yeah.
It's funny to watch. I love it.
She's definitely adulting is ghetto, and I'm like, being broke is expensive. Okay. Yes, I understand the term. We don't have McDonald's money. Okay. I get it. I get it. Okay. I get it.
It's so nice when they start understanding certain things, but I'm learning a lot and being reminded and inspired from you guys too.
Dad's saying, turn the lights off. It's hot in here. Everything gets a switch. Pitch black at night.
So we was talking about that last night when he was just like, turn out the lights because it's making more heat. Yeah. And I just started laughing. Here I go, how true is this? Because I don't remember the light doing nothing when it was colder in the winter. So I said, is this that we just carry it on from our parents, they got from their parents? Because I don't see where it adds up. It just don't. It don't make sense. Yes. But okay.
That and the good air. I mean, it's pretty bad either way. I'm just saying it's hot and stuffy in here. It's hot and stuffy out there.
Right.
What's the good air?
Right.
We don't have an AC either. So it's just the fan. The fan's the good air. It's dusty.
Right.
Like, I don't understand.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So we hope this episode has been enlightening, encouraging, inspiring, probably hitting you in a spot where you're like, yeah, I probably need to work on that. But giving you a new perspective from a positive outcome from an experience that everybody go through at some point. Everybody do. So I'm glad you were vulnerable enough to share and you got to give a recap on your journey. So, yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad I even have like this platform and to be able to do this with you as well, because you see me.
Yeah.
You literally have seen me going through this.
Yeah.
And I feel lighter. I feel different. I definitely was just like, no, I need to see the actual offer letter so I can see, make for sure. Mm-hmm. Like, it's one of those things, and it's just like, nope, it's good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm okay.
God is good.
And I can feel like I can work myself back to being even better than just okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this next chapter and recognizing even the smaller blessings in between. Mm-hmm. Like, there's just a lot of reflecting that I've been doing just since that day. It literally happened this week. So like since that day, and then now being able to look at the stuff that happened in the past, and just be like, nope, that was for this reason, that was for that. These are the small blessings, and like I can't count those blessings on one hand. I can't count them on two. And just know that there are so many things that were happening on the other side that I couldn't see, and thankful that it brought me to where I am to even do this, talk about it. I'm only 26. Listen, there's been many more storms before this, been many more storms after this, but I just know I'll be able to look at it differently, and just seeing that when it happens, I can recognize it early and be like, all right, we back in it.
What they say, you go through it with grace and ease.
Yes.
We not always gonna go through it kicking and screaming.
Nope.
Not all the time. Because as we grow, we become more aware, and we know what to do.
Yeah.
We like, okay, buckle up, buttercup. We're going for the ride.
All right, I got my
We're
tools,
going to come out better.
Got my Bible, got my God, we good.
Yeah.
Couple snacks, and we're ready. Ready to go in. You know.
And then it's all well. And then you have your testimony. And you be like, ooh, girl. And then some stuff will be like a storm to some. But because God has built you up to a point, it may not even phase you.
It's just ripples.
You be like, oh.
Can't wait.
It's just stepping over currents. Like,
ooh, it's just a big boulder. You know, just walk around. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yes. But, thank you guys for spending time with us.
And remember that healing, I think, is hard work. It's really hard work. Yeah.
And you are never on this journey alone.
You're never on this journey alone. So until next time,
have faith.
Have faith. And keep blooming. Peace out.
Thanks for listening.